So today we are going to look at how to import data from Excel using VBA within Microstation. So to cover this, we are going to look at a few things. This will include Excel connection, and then using do loops, in using for loops, also drawing a line. So let's start. So to begin with, you go to utilities, then open macros, create VBA project. So click here. So I'm gonna call this one Excel import and leave it there. So and then you want to open it. It should be somewhere here. That one there. Then click here. Now it's open. Now the first thing that you need is to bring in Excel library. So go to tools, then reference. So find here Excel library and tick it. It should be in Microsoft. That one here. Also I will add Office as well, Office library. There you go. Then say OK. So now we have that done. Now we're good to start. So always I prefer to do my to define my variables on the top. So I'll put them here. With this done, and now you can connect your Excel to Microstation. So you want to get the file, you use get object command. So this will get the Excel, but also you need to set a specific sheet, either sheet 1 or sheet 2. So there's two ways of doing this. You can either name specific sheet, sheet 1, or you can make the VBA pick whatever it is active. So for now, sheet, let me rename this. So for now, sheet 2 is active, and now sheet 1 is active. So to be able to do that, you need to specify that look into specific sheet. So let me show you. So here it will use whatever active sheet to read information. Otherwise, you can specify the actual sheet here by actually give it a name. But I think this is better. Now also, you want this to look through each row and find the last one, and then try to copy each text. Now to find the last row, so this will look on 1000 rows then count upwards into the first column. So I'll put 1 here, and then find which one is the last one. So I'm gonna go to the end, then go up. XL. Okay, so this will go to the end and then go go upwards. So it will stop here. That's why I put +1, so to stop there. You can see this +1 here. That's +1 there. Also, what you need as well is text formatting. So you need to specify the text size and formatting as well. So I'll put it here. And you can see there's many options here. So here, for example, is height. So I'll put my height at 1.25. And again, you can use any settings you want. So here you can see this center bottom. There's a lot of settings here. So I will use left center. Now that will connect to Excel, find the last row, and also create different settings for the text, the size, and the justification. That's good. So from here now, there's two things you need to do. Okay, now you want the command to go through each column. So you want it to look here and copy everything going downwards, and go to the second column and copy everything going downwards. So you can see there's a lot of, so there's repetition going that way, then there's repetition going that way. Okay, so in VBA there's two kind of loops. So we have do loops and for loops. You can use either or. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the do loop for the column and the for loop for the rows. Okay, so to do the do loop, this for the column, I'm gonna do it here. So I will be the number of the columns. So to begin with, I'll put I equal to 1, which means the first column. Then do is where the loop starts. So I'll give you the condition. Do while so look through my sheets on the first row in the columns. Okay, and if the value of that it is not, so I'm saying here look through my columns, and if the value it is not blank, then take an action. Okay, so it means if it's empty, so it won't do anything. So there has to be something there for it to do something. So in this case it is to copy the text. Okay, so that it will check each column. That's fine. But also now you want to loop. So this will go to the first column. If there's text, then it will copy this one. But also want it to copy that one and everything under that. So now you need a loop going down way. And now I'll use the for loop. I try using for loops for column and rows, but somehow the VBA was getting confused, so that's why I use different loops. The good thing about VBA, there's many options. So now using the for loop, I will say this way it says for, because it's called for loops because begin with 4. So I'll say x equal 1, which is my first row, up to my last row. Remember, I put my last row command is there, minus 1. Okay, so this, what I'm saying is, so I'm going to do create text element. So it asks for template, so I don't have template, so I'll say nothing. Now you want the actual text, so the text there in my Excel, so it is my sheet. Dot range. Now range, it is like you give it a big range for it to check. Now I like to use my first column and the last one is my range, so I'll put, okay, so I'm saying here from A1, which is here, A1 up to A last. That's why I put A and LR. Okay, and then now to get into specific cells, I'm gonna put cells. So if you put 1 1, it will copy only a first row and first column. So it will copy just that. But I want it to be dynamic and copy just, all the rows. So rather than doing that way, I will be doing, so I'll put X because I have X already for my I have X for my rows count there. Also I have I for my column loop. So whatever the number here, so if here is 1, it will put 1 there. If there is 2, it puts 2 here. So, depending on how many columns and rows you have, it picks number from that part and adds to there. And finally, the position. So 0.3D from XYZ. So here, again, if you put actual like text like 000, they will all be in the middle, but I'll show you anyway, so at least you see how it looks like. And then I'll change it. Okay, so there's something here that I missed. Oh yeah, I missed something. That's fine. This was that on the load matrix. So now we're good, and now we can add our text into our active model. Add element, my text. Good. So now we need to close the for loop first, then close that. So when you came in, we opened the do loop. So you need to then the for. So to close again, you need to close the for first, then close the do loop. Okay, because there's a loop within a loop. So to close the for loop, you will say next x, which means after the first x, then go to the next. Okay. And then to close that one, now remember when I was 1, which means the first column, so then you wanted to add another number, so to make it 2, so we'll put I, like for the new I is equal to I plus 1. Okay, so if here is column 1, then it will add one number, then it becomes column 2, and it will keep doing it until when there's nothing there. So now to close the loop, then you say loop. So by doing this, then it means let me show you. So just to make this tidy, indent, and then so we have the for loop, which is there. So there's the for loop, and then the do loop is there. Okay, so you can see there's loop between there and there, then there's loop between there and there. I think that should pretty much copy the text if everything is okay. Let me try. So let me end this up. I forgot to put sub. You want this to be at the end, somewhere here. Okay, so let's start. Yeah, this one here. This is wrong. It's supposed to be text element. Okay, let me try again. Seems something happened here. Let me check. See, so it copied text. Problem is it put everything into just one space. So we don't want that because they all came into 000. So it did something, but we need to space them out. So to space them out, now you can't really give it a specific number. Like say put it in 1 1 2 2, because that really depends on how many columns and rows you have. So the best way of doing this, rather than give it a number, is to make it add a number depending on the column or the row. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 2 plus, now I is your column counter, but times 20. Okay, and let's try now and see how it looks like. Good. So at least you can see it put them into different spaces horizontally. Then you have to space them out vertically. So let's do that. So for me, the row count is the X, so I'm going to use the X. Let's try again. That's better. You can see nicely spaced out. Good. So now we need to add the lines. It seems like always we are having a problem here. It seems like every time it goes, when it gets to the last one, then something happens. So to stop this, let me see. Okay, I will add the lines first, then fix this later. Okay, let's add the lines. So I'll add the top line first. Now you want to put the lines between the follow-ups. So I'll put it somewhere here. So I copy this one. I because this is that going vertically, but also want to copy that for the Y as well. So I will copy this one. And the Z is just 0, so I'll put. Okay, that worked okay, I think. That's fine. Now you want this line to drop slightly lower from that line there. So you need to add the value. I'll say plus 2. That's better. So now I'll do something for the bottom line and the sides as well. So I will type the values quickly. I will copy this and then change it. Okay, that should do. I think this is right. Okay, almost there. Almost there. It's just this has to go up. I think it's going the wrong way. So I need to change that. Good, everything is fine. So now we have only one problem of this error message. Okay, there's issue here. There should be an I. I think that should do it. I think that should fix the problem. Yeah, problem is gone. Good. So now let us clear everything and try again. So now I'll delete that. Then if I click here, that should copy everything. So how do you know, yeah, if it's gonna, let's say if we add a row or column, how do you know if it's gonna carry on and add next one? Let's try that. First of all, I don't think now I can close the VBA because now we can run the code from here. You can just click the play here. So I will delete that, and then I'm gonna go here. So here I have for columns and about 53 rows. So let's see. That is very quick. Okay, so I hope this is very useful, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.